All right. Yes, there we go. Wow, it's got all messed up. Hey everybody, how you doing? Good to see you again after a nice long break. Obviously, break needed to be longer for us as well as you. I think we all would be happy if the breaks lasted a little longer. Anyway, it's good to see you guys again. So, you guys voted on Battlefront. Why is it like frozen here? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Launch full game. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Apparently, it doesn't install the full game while you're. Let's adjust this audio a little bit. It seems a little off. Let's pull this down. That was much too loud. All right. Yeah, that's a little better. Oh, that's way too soft. Oh my gosh. See, and I had gone in and I had set all this up. It apparently didn't like it. So, anyway. Cool. All right. So, Battlefront. Battlefront is a game that I have a history with. Battlefront, not in the way that you might think. So, for those of you that don't know, I run Mutant Entertainment Studios, and we made a little game called I Can't Believe It's Not Gambling. And the reason that we made that game was due to all the controversy specifically about Battlefront 2. So, you know, I think you guys all know my personal opinions on loot boxes and the way. Well, if you don't yet, those of you that haven't taken 470 yet, we're going to talk about it, and you'll get to know my personal feelings on loot boxes. And don't assume that it's, or I should say, it's not as straightforward as you might think. Okay, I understand that it's a mechanic. I understand that it's a progression mechanic. It works very well. Otherwise, studios wouldn't use it. Just I happen to think it's kind of exploitative, right? But again, we'll have longer discussions about that later. Anyway, the story about Ickbing and it being directly related to Battlefront 2 was, as that controversy was happening in real time, we were in the studio, and Justin, who is now a programmer at Zynga, at the time he was programming for me at Mutant, and he had, as a joke said, hey, because we were talking about the most downvoted Reddit comment in Reddit history, which happened at the time, was the EA's response talking about the backlash of Battlefront, saying, hey, somebody had noted, well, it's going to take like 2,000 hours to get the Darth Vader skin. And they said, well, that EA's response was, well, you'll get, you get a strong sense of pride and accomplishment, right? And that was derided, as it should have been, extensively in Reddit, and it became the most downvoted Reddit post in history. I think at the time, it may still be. I'm not sure. Anyway, that happened, and at the same time that was happening, we were watching all that stuff happen in the office, and Justin jokingly said, "Hey, we should make a loot box parody game." And I said, "Yes, green light, let's do it." We were in the middle of working on what game were we in the middle of? So we had finished Quester. We had just finished Quester. We were coming off finishing Quester, and we were playing around with the concept of Astro Joust and trying to prototype it and figure out what exactly we wanted to do with that. And I said, well, let's just, it's good timing. Let's take, a month, 2 months, crank this joke out and just throw it out there and just poke fun. And as soon as we did that, we realized we put up the store page and we made a press announcement. We got a ton of press and a ton of attention for that, and it suddenly became obvious to us that this was tapping into something that was much larger. And at the same time, we also noticed that there were other people who had the same idea. So at the same time, we were trying to design the damn thing at a breakneck pace. We were also trying to beat other studios to market, right? You want to be the first to launch. So, we threw together the trailer really quickly. Then we started prototyping. Um, we didn't even paper prototype with that one because we needed to move so quick. Plus, I mean, what are you going to paper prototype? Like, roll a dice. Here's a thing, right? Like, there was almost nothing to it. I mean, the main concept of it was, mark, like, the joke, if you read the store page, is really the core concept, right? Is that the marketing department at this studio has said, well, we don't care. Your game could be garbage. We don't really care about that. What we care about is that we give players. Wow, I think my screen's gonna be a little cut off. I'm gonna have to readjust that. That's weird. Anyway, I'll come back to that. The joke was anyway that the marketing department is run amok and they're running things, and like they don't care what the actual game is. They just want to sell you loot boxes, right? And that's the real game to them. And so the game could be whatever, right? And so for us, the joke was, oh, we'll just make Snake, right? Like the joke is Snake, and we called that in-game inside of Ickbing, the game that you play, ostensibly game. That's a dumb version of Snake where you collect loot boxes. Was called Not BF2, right? And we tried to use the same font and tried to make it obviously that we're poking fun at this whole situation. So that is a summary of why this game in particular. It's funny that you guys picked this game to play, right? Because Ickbing was our largest success at the studio by far and away. It still sells pretty well. All right, so anyway, before we start playing, I need to readjust because my resolution kind of got all jacked up when I went between the scenes, which was odd, right? So that's strange that I get that, right? Stupid thing. It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, right? If I make that smaller, no. So weird. So weird. All right, well, it's going to be a little cut off for you guys. All right, so we only get to play arcade while this thing does its thing. All right, so it's a first-person shooter. Do I want to string Ickbing? There's not much to stream. You guys could go watch. Yeah, you could watch Markiplier play, or Jim Sterling. It's pretty funny. Markiplier is especially pretty funny. His take on the game was pretty ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, it's really ironic that you guys picked this game. I wonder if you guys knew. Did you guys know, and that's why you picked it? Oh, look at this. We don't even... Right, so progression. Let's talk about progression, right? Because progression is giving your players a sense that they are progressing through a game, right? There's lots of ways to do that. In the traditional sense, it's usually driven through narrative. Would be how you give your players a sense of progression. And progression is a very important aspect of games. You definitely want your players to feel like they are moving forward and through this experience. Okay? And a game like this, which is an online, you're going to match multiple players up, team versus team. Normally you wouldn't have a real, if you were to play the original Doom or basically any of the early first-person shooters, there's not really a way to do that. I mean, yeah, there was some story, but that's not really why people played those games. So this idea of unlocking content is really what drives these things, right? So the more you grind through this game, right, they're telling you right here, hey, you don't have enough points, but look at these cool things that you could get, right? You could get to Kylo Ren eventually if you gain 3,000 battle points. Okay, I don't even know what battle points are at this point. They haven't explained any of the stuff to me. But it's locked, right? And so it's very obvious to me that, oh, I'll have in-game advantages if I can unlock these things. Okay, so this idea of progression mechanic is great. Now, when you tie it to monetization, that's where things get a little dicey, right? Like, you're telling your players, right, well, you can grind it out. Yeah, you can grind it out, and you could spend 3,000, like, I don't even know how many points. You probably don't get that many points. I think especially when you first started the game, you hardly got any points for one match, right? And so the idea of getting 3,000 to get up like to like Darth Vader, which was the original thing where everybody was freaking out and saying, well, this is going to take like 3 years to get there. You know, when you also say, well, yeah, but you could just pay for that. Well, I've already paid for the game, right? I paid $60 up front for this game, and now you want me to pay more money to unlock these things, right? I've already, like, it's a... It gets to be a thing where this game company wants to have their cake and eat it too, in my opinion, right? So if you are going to use microtransactions and loot boxes and that things to give players a sense of progression and to encourage them to unlock things, the game ought to be free. The base game ought to be free, right? And that's what happens in mobile, right? And that's why I think players are accepting of it in mobile, right? Because the game is free, and if I enjoy that game and I want to invest my money to speed up my progress, I'm going to do that. Versus paying $60 for this game, and then you're asking me for another, $20, $30, $40, $50, whatever, to gain these season passes or microtransactions for loot boxes, whatever it happens to be. That feels inherently unfair. So I think that's the crux of the problem, right? If a game company wanted to do this, they should just bite the bullet, make the base game free, give it away, and then charge for the microtransactions. Then nobody would have a problem with it. But they, it's too scary. It's too scary for their marketing budget or their entire development budgets and stuff to do that. So they aren't willing to do that. They want to have the best of both worlds. Well, if you don't do it right, you're going to face some serious backlash. All right, so that's some of my quick thoughts on progression and loot boxes and stuff like that. Let's start this thing. Oh, look at these. They have abilities. QEF. Oh, this is going to be bad. You guys are going to laugh at me playing this game. I am not good at this stuff. All right. Assault, heavy, or officer, or specialist. Which one should we do? I'm going to assume we'll start with assault and we'll see how it goes, and then maybe my playstyle will dictate some other things. I'll say that the graphics for this right now are really good. I'll also say I bought this for my son at launch, and it looked great. Although I will say that the last version... Let's get these guys. No, okay. We're already in trouble here. At least with the aiming with the mouse, I'm better at that. Oh, I'm in trouble. There's nobody here to help me? Where's my team? Jesus. Oh, what? Oops. What just happened? I died? No. Yeah, I feel like a stormtrooper. My bad aim. Oh, somebody's behind me? Oh, screw you guys. Ah, boo. Your team is DLC? I don't... Yeah, right. Ooh, Flame Trooper. I unlocked something already. Okay, that's good. So I got 1,321 battle points right there. I'm assuming that that's what's changed, because originally when I played with my son or watched him play on PlayStation, it was much less, right? So you're going to have to grind to get there. The thing about these games is you need to know the maps, and I have no clue what these maps are. Oh, where are you? Ah! Reload! How to reload?
This craven ambush shows the resistance for the cowards and scoundrels they are.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez, I can't move. Who's hitting? What the? Behind me? Behind me. Mouse and keyboard's no good. It's much harder. Yeah. Where is my team? What? You guys put me seriously right here? I don't have any other guns. This guy, how do I crouch? No, that's not it.
The battle outside has seen heavy losses on both sides.
Did it put me with no teammates like that? This is crazy. I don't know the map. This is nuts. Oh shit. Ah!
Cover all entry points.
Cover all entry points. What? They put me right in there? Come on, that's...
Avoid ambush.
Am I playing with other players, or are these bots? I can't even tell. Oh, I need some cover. Oh yeah, that was bad. I don't want to use Kylo Ren because I know I'm gonna be
Ready
bad.
weapons and join the fight.
I think these are bots. I don't even think I'm playing with other players, right? This has to be bots. I don't even know what my objectives are. I have no clue. No clue what's going on right now. Nope. What's this guy doing? Oh, wait, I'm stuck. Where are they? Somebody's shooting at me.
Exterior ground troops are attempting to stave off further base infiltration.
Ah, reload, reload, reload. What are you doing? Ah, boo. keep losing to the same bot. Let's try something else. Let's try this.
Roll out. Advance to the line.
Oh, whoa. Well, that's a gun. Come on, reload. Reload, you idiot. Oh.
Our pilots are clearing the
Stupid
skies
bots.
of enemy X-Wings.
I guess it's kind of appropriate for stormtroopers, right? But look at that bot. It's a bad spot. It's a bad spot. Ah, reload. Nope. Let's try it again.
Advance. Defend the base at all costs.
Ah, ah, ah. I like how they spawn you right into it. It's actually
Keep together to avoid
pretty
ambush.
weird choice. I mean, it stops spawn camping, right? But still, yeesh. I have no idea where anybody is. Ah, this is bad. I went right in the middle. That was dumb. Alright, well, let's just try it.
Crush the resistance.
What do you do here?
I will guide you.
Ready weapons and join the fight.
Is that ours? How do I use force? So the art's really nice, right?
We cannot afford to lose this base. Think of all our preparations.
Yeah, think of all their preparations.
Our victory approaches.
Oh, there you go. Oh, whoa. Okay. Ugh, I don't know how I can continue playing this keyboard. It's bad. Let's try this. How do you block? I don't even know how to block. Come on.
Flank the enemy. Set up a crossfire.
Our intelligence.
That guy. What? How'd that guy go through the door? Did you guys see that? So they did a good job with the power fantasy here, right? Just mowing through people.
The Resistance's despicable attack has failed. Commendable work. You're a credit to your training.
So this must be the mode that I got to play, right, while it was downloading all the rest of the game, even though I thought that I had set up the download to keep running. It didn't. All right, play a game with other classes. Oh, okay. Difficulty rookie. Difficulty. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, that's probably about right. Wow, it's quite the download that's happening. All right, let's try a different one. Let's try this guy. I don't even... Can I unlock? I haven't unlocked anything. Oh, that's probably through the regular game, not this arcade mode.
Attention, all personnel. Starkiller base is under attack. Resistance forces breaking through at the maintenance bay.
These bots are dumb. But I guess that's appropriate for stormtroopers, right? This officer is terrible. Oh, I have buffs. I see. I'm the officer, so I do the buffs, and I drop drones and stuff. Oh, no. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. That guy shoot me from. Dance!
The treachery of the resistance knows no bounds. They will pay for this.
Is that the actor from the movies? It sounds like it, doesn't it? I need to deploy my... Get out here and deploy.
Cover all entry points.
Oh! Danar Mies killed me. Kylo Ren available. Well, Kylo Ren's too easy. You just mow through these. Something making logical sense in the story is a poor excuse for bad gameplay. True. I agree. The officer can heal dudes? With what?
Ready
E?
weapons and
Oh,
join
E
the
is
fight.
heal. Okay. Ready weapons. Join the fight. Ah! Hey! Where are you? I'm no match for these guys with this officer by myself. Who's shooting us? Who's shooting us? I like that I have, look at that, look at my outfit got all messed up because there was a grenade that went off there. That's cool.
Root out all resistance fighters.
Come on, turret, go! Come on, turret, go! Oh my gosh. Oh no. Where's he at? This is bad. I'm stuck. My little turret. Go! Go, little turret! Kill these fools. What? Look at that! Did you see that? What just happened?
Personnel,
Ah, kill that guy.
positions.
Oh, that was wrong. Shoot! Oh, I see. I have to reload it.
Exterior ground troops are attempting to stave
Uh-oh.
off further base infiltration.
Throw a grenade.
Launching grenade.
Where's my grenade?
It's only a matter of time.
Ah! Come on, throw your grenade. Ah. Or not. These bots are dumb.
Ground forces defending the base exterior are pinned down.
Ha! I didn't watch you crawl under a mansion. I need to click when it's yellow. Click when it is in the blue or yellow. Click what? Do you mean the to reload the thing? No, I just bad. That's not. Alright, let's play something else. Or not play something else. Let's do a different class. What about this fool? Long range, huh? Oh, that's great for this map. Not.
Attention, all personnel. Starkiller base is under attack. Resistance forces breaking through at the maintenance bay.
In the maintenance bay. This would be bad.
Heads down!
Uh-oh. Trouble. Trouble. Yeah, this is the room for this guy, right? Come on.
Root out all resistance fighters.
This class is going to be bad for this. Stupid. These stupid bots. They're pretty funny. Where are they going? This room again? We just left this room, you idiots. Stupid bots. Oh, shoot. Why am I not shooting? What's going on here?
Prove to the resistance none can stand in our
What?
way. Grenade in play!
Okay. Did I switch weapons? What happened? Where's my other weapon? What's F? What's this? Oh, that switches eyes. This class is terrible for this map.
Crush the resistance.
Officer's way better for this map. You just set up a turret. Shoot that guy. Damn it. Race Peel got me. Race Peel? Race Peel.
This craven ambush shows the resistance
Terrible. Let's play
the
one of these.
cowards and scoundrels they are.
Jet Trooper? Oh gosh. Try and fly in here? That's dumb.
Reinforce our defenses. Break the siege.
That's cool. That's a good effect. Fire! Come on. See, I have no idea where anybody is. Nope. Yeah. What? Back to the start. Oh my gosh.
Cover all entry points.
Cover all entry points. Oh gosh, I'll never fight that game. Ah! What's the melee button?
Going hunting.
Survive. Because I'm in the rookie one, that's why. Terrible.
Our pilots are clearing the skies of enemy X-wings.
Where did he go? He's right in front of me, and I can't burn him? Burn him. Do something. F? What's F do?
This rabble clearly lack discipline.
Terrible. This class is terrible. Assault is by far, well, Kylo Ren's the best here, but
Support defensive positions.
you support defensive positions. Oh gosh.
Throwing grenade. Ground forces defending the base exterior are pinned down.
Ah! They did something to my gun. Oh no.
With a short range.
Where's the... Oh boy. Oh, I'm bad. This is just bots.
Ready weapons.
It's really
and
too bad that I
fight.
didn't understand that it wasn't... Oh boy. This is gonna be bad.
Grenade in play.
Oh, one of these guys. Those guys are bad. Bad news. It's the assault. Assault class. It's tough.
Form a squad and defend the line.
Form a squad. These guys don't follow me anywhere. Shooting at me. Reload. Nick Brewer. The bot got me.
Assemble a squad. Defend the perimeter.
You assemble a squad. Oh boy. That was bad. Alright, enough of this. Enough of this. Enough of this.
Keep together to avoid ambush.
Oh, I didn't kill them?
The battle is ours. Finish them.
shooting at me?
The Resistance's despicable attack has failed. Commendable work. You're a credit to your training.
Only because I cheated. Rocket Trooper 0. Oh, I haven't played that one yet. That's why. Let's try that. Oh, I can't. You have to do it. Oh, these points don't roll over. Okay, I understand. In this stupid arcade mode. Hey, look, it's the same cinematic every time. It's a good cinematic, but
Attention! All personnel. Starkiller Base is under attack. Resistance forces breaking through at the maintenance bay.
maintenance.
Heads down!
Who's shooting? Oh boy. I'm clicking the damn thing.
Exterior ground troops are
Okay,
attempting
I just
to
now
stave
noticed
off
that there's a
further base
mini-map.
infiltration.
Just now. How bad am I? Alright, we try the jet trooper, right? This will be dumb. Why would they even put this guy in here? In
Assemble
this
a
map?
squad. Defend the perimeter.
Okay, that was awesome. Boy. Oh, that was good. I like that. I tried to fly and couldn't even.
Repel resistance forces inside the line.
Let's try that again.
Roll out. Advance to the line.
Hey, look. Didn't work. It's good ragdolling right there. That class is bad. The officers like the total cheat because you just set up your turret.
Join our forces
Let
holding
your
the
turret do
line.
all the damage. Oh boy. That was weird. That was real weird. Do that again. Take another crack at that. Whoop!
Defend the base at all costs.
He shot me. Where's he? Ah. Those guys are bad news.
Full assault. Follow me.
I'm shooting! Shoot! What are you doing? Switched over to the other gun and then it, that was terrible. I don't know what that gun was. I gotta try that again.
Crush crush the resistance.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Enemy target.
Ah!
Flank the enemy. Set up a crossfire.
I'm so bad at first-person shooters.
Heads down.
I'm so totally surrounded. Let's do this one again.
Ready weapons and join the fight.
Oh, hey, there's a guy out here. Shoot! Reload your damn weapon! These guys are tough. Is he backing
The
up?
treachery of the resistance knows no bounds. They will pay for this.
Oh no. Shoot him!
The advantage will soon be ours.
Oh god, what's that? Oh, oh my god. You moron. Wow. Oh. I see. I see. Oh. Hi. Oh. Bot. What's that bot doing?
None can stand in our way.
So stupid. Where are you? I know you're here.
We cannot afford to lose this base. Think of all our preparations.
Yes, think of all their preparations. Just think of them. Ow. Ow. Totally didn't see those guys. Stick with the heavy.
Reinforce our defenses. Break the siege.
Break the siege. Stupid bots.
Now, stamp them out for good.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Trouble. This is trouble. Run! Run, little stormtrooper, run. Reload. No flanking. There'll be no flanking here. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. Apparently there will be flanking because this gun needs to reload. It's slow.
All personnel, move to defense position.
Nobody helping me. Reload. Terrible. Flanking. Lots of flanking.
Roll out. Advance to the line.
Roll out. Did he just Autobots me? Oh. Put in my shield. It didn't even go. Yadzin. Two guys. I gotta kill two guys.
Form a squad and defend
I'm not
the
gonna
line.
get there in time.
The Resistance's despicable attack has failed. Commendable work. You're a credit
That
to your
animation on
training.
that guy was funny in slow motion. All right. So that's enough of that. And we're... Oh my gosh. This must be a humongous install. All right, so that's enough playing of that. So let's talk real quick. Kind of a niche audience, right? Because you're targeting here. Your target audience is obviously Star Wars fans, right? I don't think a generic Call of Duty, first-person shooter fan is going to be into Battlefront necessarily, right? So you're automatically kind of limiting to that. And I like to try and think of what the power fantasy is here. And obviously in Star Wars, almost always the power fantasy is Jedi. Right? And so that's why they put in the progression system of, in that particular, like even just that arcade mode, they had to put in Kylo Ren because they, you need to be able to attain that in a quick mode. You need to tell your players, hey, you can get to do, cool Jedi stuff eventually. Right. And I've watched my son play the original Battlefront a couple years ago, or Battlefront 2 a couple years ago when it first came out. So I know that as you play in a multiplayer match, you can earn the points and then unlock to get to do some of the fun stuff in a giant multiplayer setting, which is the power fantasy of that game type and the type of player you're trying to appeal to. And so they've done a real good job at that. Right, and so, in this arcade mode, like we just talked about, right, like having that Kylo Ren thing be unlockable is incredibly important, especially like this free weekend that they just opened up on the Epic Store. You need to be able to, right, and I think this game was, or what I noticed about this game was that I was able to play it as soon as it got to like, I don't know, some download percent, right? And obviously we're not even getting back. Oops. What? I want to go back to the... I guess I have to quit. I hope this is just the mode and not the whole game. Yeah. Anyway, it's very important, right, that you get to show the player what they can attain, and they did that very quickly with, I think it was available at like 8% or something like that when I had first started downloading the game. It said, hey, you can start playing at 8%. It got to 8%. And I loaded it just to check it and make sure it would run on my machine and stuff. But, it didn't... Obviously, it still had a ton of textures and a bunch of important stuff that I had to download. But, as quickly as it could, it was telling me, hey, play the game, and then, into that arcade mode, it's showing me, hey, you can attain the power fantasy of being a Jedi, right, and getting to do all the cool stuff. So that's an important lesson that you guys should probably take away, right? Is that whatever the power fantasy is of your particular game, right? So um, almost every game should have some kind of power fantasy. It helps you kind of determine who the target audience is and how you're going to appeal to them. Um, right. So like, I play like a spreadsheet baseball game, right? And then in that game, right, the power fantasy of that is being a general manager of a baseball team, right? That's not something that I would ever be able to do, but in a video game, it's going to allow me to do that, and that instantly lets you into that power fantasy, right? If you buy Call of Duty, right? I think I don't know what would you guys say the power fantasy of something like Call of Duty would be? I'll wait for your guys' answer. I can tell you what I think it is, but I'm just interested in what you guys might think it is. I love that they put the Star Wars in there. To be a war hero? Um, yes, but I think it's a little more specific. Yeah, it's. I think it has to do with weapons and getting to be the kind of the cool guy and like, um, being the hero in sort of that military setting, right? So being a war hero, or depending on which flavor of COD you're playing or whatever. Um, right? Just knowing that you have that getting the top win rank. It's I'd say it's more specific than that, right? It has to be like the like a power fantasy is like something that you can't do in real life, right? Like Grand Theft Auto. What's the power fantasy of Grand Theft Auto? Again, I'm gonna wait for you guys. I know that there's a delay, so I'm gonna wait. This is the one bad thing about streaming this instead of like doing whatever you want without consequences. Correct. Um, right. So it's all about kind of just getting to. It's almost like getting to do all the cool things that your brain kind of says, hey, maybe you could do that thing, right? Crimes, explosions, flipping card, whatever you want, right? That you can't do in real life. It's letting you get to play in a sandbox of like if you live in a city, getting to do all the things that you can't do in real life. So kind of that power fantasy is appealed to, right? So as we make our games, you want to kind of think about what is that power fantasy, right? If you can have that in your mind, you'll know how to make decisions about your game to appeal to that power fantasy, right? So Kylo Ren here, it's a good example in this game, like we already talked about, right? Is that in that even quick arcade mode, right? It was incredibly important that Kylo Ren I can get to that, right? And it was like I had to pay like even me being terrible, as bad as I am, I was able to unlock Kylo Ren really quickly, right? And so I'm sure that was a decision that happened at some point where somebody said, "Hey, we need this to be unlockable as soon as possible, right? I need to show the players that they can get to be the cool Kylo Ren, get to do all the cool stuff, right? So that's a quick lesson on power fantasies and just how I think about them. You'll find that power fantasy isn't really a part of our textbook. This is more a thing that I picked up from listening to other indies talk, specifically Ryan Clark, who just did his very last Clark Tank. He used to stream and talk about indie development, and he just did the last one that he's going to do probably, hopefully not forever, but anyway, that's a idea that I got from him, or I watched his take on it, and it's very useful. It's very valid in that having an idea of what the power fantasy is of the game that you want to make, and then making sure that all of the decisions that you're making as you develop the game are based around that power fantasy, right? So if they were talking about like the spreadsheet baseball game, well, I need to do everything that a general manager would do. If it's Grand Theft Auto, right? If you're saying, hey, you get to do all this stuff that all the, whatever crime you want, and you can do anything you want without consequences. Well, everything then needs to be unlocked without consequences in that game. Immediately, right? You want to let the players get to do the power fantasy as soon as possible. And that changes a little bit as you go, right? Because, I mean, not every game really kind of has a power fantasy. I mean, it's certainly easier to do it with a power fantasy. So, like Minecraft, what would be the power fantasy of Minecraft? Getting to create whatever you want, I guess, is kind of it, right? It's kind of Legos. I guess that kind of works. Building things through these explosions, yeah. And I guess it depends on what mode we're talking about too, right? So if it was, survival mode is a lot different power fantasy than it would be in creative mode, right? Getting a full diamond armor set. On survival, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think that's why they put in the Ender Dragon, and like they put in inside of that there is kind of a technical ending inside of Minecraft. Is that there is kind of a, hey, survival craft is a thing that a lot of people enjoy, right? And I mean, we could talk a lot about why that is, why that's appealing to our modern sensibilities, right? We don't have to survive like that anymore, and so kind of testing yourself in a video game form is kind of the next best thing that we can do, at least on a subconscious level. Yeah, so anyway, I think that's about everything that I would want to say on power fantasy. I think it's just a really useful tool to consider when you do think about your target audience. It's kind of core for me when we, in my studio, when we talk about a new game or whatever. One is it must have a very clear power fantasy, right? Of getting to do something really cool, or some moment that we hope is going to speak to players. Except for Ikbing, that was a joke. All right, so I think that's probably enough of Battlefront 2. If there's anything else that you guys want to chat about real quick, we could do that. If not, I think it's probably a good time for me to wrap it up. I got other stuff I need to go get to today. Power fantasy of having the shiniest loot box. No, Ikbing worked, honestly, in retrospect, when we sat down and I kind of did a postmortem of, like, why did this actually sell? It was more that Skinner boxes work, especially as a progression mechanic. And it was surprising to me that we had half of our people that played the game understood that we were making a joke, and it was all a stupid poking fun at the industry. There were some people, though, that left reviews that said, this is, like, legitimately compelling, right? And they had fun just opening loot boxes for no other reason than to open loot boxes. So it just tells you that, like, that in and of itself can work as a progression mechanic, and it is surprisingly, and like that tells you why companies continue to use it, and why they will always continue to use it, is because it works really well, both as progression and as a monetization strategy. So it's not going to go away, but like I said before, it's you get into trouble where a studio would get in trouble if they were trying to do what Battlefront 2 did here, where they charge $60 for the game, and then they're trying to charge you a bunch of more money on top of that, right? So that to a lot of players is going to feel bad, right? What's the point of buying the game if then I also have to buy a bunch of additional stuff? Why don't you just, I buy the game and it's just done, it's unlocked, right? That's um, the traditional model versus the free-to-play model, right? So if you want to put in loot boxes, in my opinion, you should probably make the base game free. Right? That makes the most sense. Then your players won't care. But it's too risky for a company like EA or one of those. If you pay, $20 million to get the rights to Star Wars, to make a Star Wars video game, well, you need to make sure that you make that money back. So that's why I'm sure that they weighed all their options. Okay. So I think I'm going to shut it down here. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you learned a little bit about design today. We talked a little bit about progression mechanics, and we talked a little bit about Power Fantasy. And again, in your classes with me and with Dan, when we ask for target audience, we don't ask for Power Fantasy because there's not really a good lecture or something to write up on it. I suppose I should write up something for my take on it, and then I can start asking for it. But it just makes your design process so much easier if you have that Power Fantasy in your mind and you know specifically what it is you want your players to experience, right? Okay, so again, looking forward to next semester. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend. And yeah, looking forward to next semester, even though it's going to be digital. Hopefully, it looks like it's going to be our last digital only semester. From what the rumors that I'm hearing, nothing's official yet, but the rumors that I'm hearing are we'll probably have most of our classes back in person in the fall. So yay for that. I think we're all looking forward to that. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Enjoy this beautiful weather that we've got out here. And yeah, looking forward to next semester, guys. Take it easy.